96%. That's the number of Malaysians that cannot afford to retire. Currently, more than half of EPF members under 55 have less than 10,000 ringgit saved. If they decide to retire now, their savings couldn't even last them 4 months. And just very recently, our government is even reconsidering raising the retirement age to 65 years old. Now, before we talk about raising the retirement age, let's ask the real question. Can Malaysians even afford to retire? In Malaysia, the official retirement age is 60 and the average life expectancy is about 75.2 years. So you need enough savings to last for at least 15 to 20 years post-retirement. And just to give you an idea, official research shows that to have an adequate retirement in Klang Valley region, a single elderly requires about 2,690 ringgit a month, while a senior couple, 2 people combined, requires about 3,390 ringgit. And based on this monthly estimation, EPF sets these savings targets based on 3 lifestyles, and only 36% of active EPF members meet even the basic savings level. And while EPF revises these figures from time to time, these lump sum figures do not account for annual inflation. So do you guys think these numbers still make sense? And also, comment down below if you want a full retirement calculator to help you with your retirement asset planning. I might just do it if there's enough requests for it. Now, put these targets aside, our PM revealed something shocking. 81% of EPF contributors won't even have enough to live above the poverty line after retirement, and the average Malaysian is at risk of running out of their retirement savings 19 years before death. This basically means that if all of these people retire, they are literally considered broke, not capable of sustaining their daily life. But it's never too late. You can still take charge of your own personal finances by starting to save and invest today. Enter this video sponsor Moomoo, a SC Malaysia regulated and licensed platform that supports trading for Malaysia and international stocks, and is also an app that I've trusted and used for the last 5 years. Their feature-packed app offers different research and analysis tools for you to analyze and track your stocks like a real pro. And the best part is, they are all free. For example, if you want to check out dividend stocks for passive income during your retirement year, the Moomoo app has the dividend rankings feature that shows you all the stocks that pay out dividends. They provide almost everything that you need to know about the stock, like their payout ratios, how frequent they pay in a year, their dividend growth rate, and so much more information that can help you with your analysis and decision making. You can even click in for more information about the company and even see all the past dividend payout history. And fees-wise, very cheap. Moomoo Malaysia offers 0 commission fees for the first 6 months and charges you only 3 ringgit platform fees per order. It's an app that worked like a charm in my years of experience, so you can't really go wrong with them. Feel free to deposit with my exclusive code Ziet11, that's Ziet11, to get amazing standard rewards while the campaign lasts. You see, our official retirement age was revised 3 times, from 55 to 60, all in a span of just 12 years. A few years ago, our neighbour Singapore adjusted its retirement age from 62 to 63, while China and Vietnam are both gradually increasing the retirement age for men to 63 and 62 respectively. Even Thailand is now considering raising it to 65 years old. So, why are they doing that? Well, the biggest reason is that people are simply living longer. You see, the average life expectancy of a person grew from 54 in 1965 to almost 74 in 2025, thanks to advancements in medical and healthcare. However, as people start to live longer and birth rates declining, check out my video over here, an aging population starts to occur. In 1965, only around 5% of people are aged 65 and above. But in 2023, that number almost doubled to around 10%. And if we follow the same trend, we can expect the number to double again around 2070. So, since more people are living longer, they need more money to cover their living expenses. And if they are retired, they can only rely on their own savings and pension funds, which the government can only give so much of. Hence, the consideration to raise the minimum retirement age as governed under the 2012 Act to protect Malaysian employees and allow them to be better prepared financially for retirement, at least on paper. Because the reality today, it's worse than that. Only 4% of Malaysians can afford to retire.
It's a new type of coronavirus.
Coronavirus. The coronavirus.
Coronavirus. Coronavirus.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Malaysia has imposed a new nationwide lockdown.
Starting tomorrow, Malaysia will be in lockdown until the end of the month.
Malaysia is heading back into a nationwide lockdown.
Back in 2020 when COVID hit, the nationwide lockdown caused a lot of financial troubles for Malaysians. Our government's way of supporting us was to allow for withdrawal of our locked up money in EPF, not once, not twice, but 4 times in total. And as a result, 8.1 million Malaysians pulled out a total of 145 billion ringgit from their EPF accounts, with a researcher calling it
the worst policy ever the country has announced and implemented since independence.
Even in early 2021, just halfway through the second withdrawal, 30% of EPF members had almost wiped out their account 1 savings that is usually locked up until 55 years old, with lower income groups that withdraw the most amount of money. And because of that, the number of members who had less than 10,000 ringgit savings ballooned from 37% in 2020 to 48% in 2023, and it is now standing at 52% as of 2024. Imagine that, over half of Malaysians had less than 10,000 ringgit in their retirement account. And what's even worse, according to a survey by Ringgit Plus, 66% say that they will consider applying for more EPF early withdrawals if the government actually allows them to do so. And that just shows how much Malaysians aren't financially stable. Now, those statistics from EPF savings are just a symptom of a bigger effect. You see, official inflation was 1.8% in 2024, thanks to subsidies and ringgit recovery. This is much lower than previous years, where official inflation hovers between 2 to 4% per annum. But let's be real, it sure doesn't feel like 2 to 4% to many of us, especially F&B, which is the top 2 household expenditures in Malaysia. For example, a simple nasi lemak back then in 2011 cost 2 ringgit and 3 cents, but in 2024, it costs around 3 ringgit 68 cents. That's an 81.3% increase. Even your favorite McD has doubled in price within 10 years' time. Now, during the same 14 years period, overall inflation was only at 28.6%. This means that they far outpaced the official inflation rate, and why we feel that things are becoming so expensive so quickly. And I guess that is why during the COVID lockdown, many people had to withdraw their EPF savings just to survive. Now, you would think that if everything is becoming more expensive, surely our salary is also improving, right? Well, I mean, you are technically correct. Generally, the growth of minimum wage in Malaysia has outpaced the annual inflation from 2011 to 2023. But let me ask you this, do you actually feel it? Well, I certainly don't myself. You see, the income growth after the pandemic is bad, with many states experiencing negative growth. The residual income, aka the money left over after essential expenses for lower income households, also reduced after the pandemic. That's the extra money for savings and retirement. And according to a survey, 48% of respondents saved less than 500 ringgit each month, and 23% could not save at all. It really does seem like there is no room for retirement savings for most Malaysians. But instead of blaming entirely on wage growth and inflation, there's also another culprit hidden in plain sight. According to Khazanah's research, Malaysian households have dined out more than ever over the years. In 2022, Malaysians spent 48% of their total food expenditure on food away from home, which has a higher inflation rate than food at home. So, if you are complaining about the rising cost for food, maybe, just maybe, it is a sign for you to start cooking more at home. And that's my point exactly, unnecessary purchases. We consumers are the culprit ourselves. It is interesting to see how the KOLs, key opinion leaders, and social media influencers have increasingly influenced our spending behavior. All these are shaping our spending habits and even that annual vacation that we all dream of. Just like the famous saying goes, too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like. And just like live streaming shopping in China that has gotten lots of traction, Malaysia now has our very own Shopee live stream as well. And if you think these are nothing special, think again. At times where people are glued to their smartphones, these highly engaging shopping experiences are quite literally changing the retail landscape and boosting sales. From 2019 to 2023, China's live stream e-commerce has grown 11 times and it is projected to rise even further. Even our local Shopee live stream has jumped 248% over the past year, and we are bound to mirror China's shift to live stream e-commerce. That's us, day-to-day Malaysians, that fuel that growth. And couple that with buy now pay later schemes that offer attractive 0% repayment plans, the hard question to ask ourselves here is the high cost of living really the blame for why most Malaysians can't save for retirement? Now, I know retirement may seem scary, but it's not really as hard as you think. Here are 3 easy steps to help you. Firstly, know your numbers. You see, retirement is when you stop living at work and start working at living. It's not about hitting a certain age, it's about reaching a number. And that number, it's how much you need each month times how many years you will live after stopping work. It's not perfect, but it gives you direction. And that's why budgeting isn't about restriction, it's about intention with your money. If you don't know where your money is going now, how will you know if you can retire later? If you need help, I've created a net worth tracker that you can use, link down below for you to download. And remember to let me know if you want a free retirement calculator as well. Next, increase your value. Side income and businesses may seem appealing, but your main income source can also be increased as well. You see, bosses love employees who grow their company, whether by solving problems or finding new opportunities to increase revenue. If you think that's hard, no worries. You can always work on yourself first and then get both technical and soft skills that your current or future employer may value. I'm sure your active income will increase in no time. Thirdly, invest in assets. Look, you know that inflation will be there no matter what. So to combat that, you should look for ways to increase the value of your money as well. And while fixed deposits or money market funds can earn you like 3 to 4% per annum, those are just barely enough to keep you up with inflation. And yes, EPF gives you a decent 6% per annum with the lockup restriction, but for you to have your dream retirement, you need higher returns. And see, this is where investing comes in, i.e. putting money into productive assets that historically return you around 10% annually, like the S&P 500 index in the US. You don't need to be a sophisticated trader, you just need to start. I've made a video where I go into detail about all these tips and provide even more for you, so do check it out over here. The financial aspect of retirement is only part of a much bigger problem. According to the World Happiness Report 2024, it was revealed that Malaysian citizens aged 16 and above were the least happy among all other age groups. If you think about it, the long queues in our healthcare facilities, inaccessible public transport, the social isolation and loneliness for those who are living alone, and even the mistreatments towards the elderly, such as neglect, abandonment, and discrimination, all are social problems that paint a bigger picture within the nation, and these are topics that we should actively revisit to raise enough awareness on it. Anyways, now I'm curious, what does retirement look like for you? Do you feel prepared, or do you think the system is setting us up to fail? It would be great to have the comment section to turn into a discussion box on this important topic. Thanks for watching.